And it's great to have you with us. Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Jim Masters. I hope you're doing well because we have an exciting and entertaining broadcast here for you. This is the Jim Masters Show live. We are beaming all around the world right now, simulcasting on YouTube and on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. That's right. We get you in both locations. Don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel if you have one. Show some love to the channel. So many people have been subscribing to it and checking out not only all the archived episodes of this entertainment lifestyle talk show series, the Jim Masters Show Live, but also some of the other stuff we have on there, like our Daily Masters Mantras series, where I'm usually on location posting all kinds of cool, positive comments and observations of life. Been doing that for years on Facebook. People loved it so much, they wanted me to actually do it on YouTube. They want me to write a book about it too. So we've been posting some positive things on YouTube as well, but all of the episodes of our series here on Jim Masters Show Live are available on the YouTube channel as well as Facebook, but especially YouTube, because you can binge watch. They sort of run one after the other, which is kind of cool. So you can go to Jim Masters TV on YouTube and you can check out the channel and subscribe. I know they call it subscribe to the channel, but there's no cost. You just click the red button, subscribe, and you get to see all the, don't forget the notification button too, because I guess the notification button really helps you. You hear a little ding when there's new content and new things that are happening on the YouTube channel. So it's good to have you with us. If you're a regular faithful viewer from around the world, it's always a blessing and a joy and a pleasure to have you here. I am your host, Jim Masters. If you're watching for the first time, I'll introduce myself. I'm a professional television and radio host, as well as journalist and actor, voiceover artist, stage MC, writer, producer. I do this work professionally. And 9 weeks ago, we launched the Jim Masters Show Live. And it's all about positivity. It's all about, information, education as well, because we learn so much from our guests and from the segments that we offer up here on the show. But it's also about light and levity and love, or the new word that we sort of coined here on the show, levity. How'd that happen? About a week ago, I was on the air and I was saying light, levity, and love, sort of fouled that up, and we came up with levity. So that's a Freudian slip that turned into something gold because everybody loves that word levity. So we're using that on the show here. We welcome you from wherever you're watching around the world. We've got a great night of entertainment coming up with a terrific guest who's a Broadway star, TV star, film star. He's very humble. He's going to say, Jim, what? But he really, really is. He's a good guy, Danny Bolero. And if you've been seeing the promos that we've been doing leading up to this episode tonight here on the Jim Masters Show Live, then you've probably seen some of the cool things we've been talking about as far as his experience. I mean, everything from, on stage, Broadway, to television series like Blue Bloods and so much more. He really does it all. He's very, very talented. He's very spirited. He's very passionate. And that's what you want when you have an entertainer and you have somebody who really gets into a character and makes you feel like you're a part of the actual scene. And he's extremely talented. He's going to be joining me in just a minute. First, we have our usual rituals here at the Jim Masters Show Live, as we see tons of comments already here. Feel free to post a hello. Let us know what city and town or country you're watching from. We say hello to all of our friends in Europe. I know it's late at night. We have friends who take naps in the day so they don't miss our show, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific here, 7 nights a week. And we also welcome all the folks in Australia, too. We say good day because I know it's breakfast time for you. You're just waking up. So right now it's Thursday. It's Friday morning for you. So let us all know here, is Friday going to be a good day? Because it's Friday morning for you already. Give us a little hint. So if we know whether we should just hang on to Thursday or if we should continue into Friday. Good to have you with us. Here's our usual toast we do on the show. Very, very nice. And again, we just have little light libation here just to lighten everything and to welcome you. So I toast you and you and you and you and you and you, as we always do. And then cast of characters always appear here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Again, just for those who are watching for the first time, we had a nostalgic week a couple of weeks ago where I brought out all the childhood toys. Again, we're looking to put smiles on people's faces. So it was a cool episode, too. A lot of people still going back in the archives and watching that. I mean, I brought out the Matchbox cars and the baseball cards and the Twister and the kaleidoscopes and all that stuff. And you guys brought out all your childhood toys. So this was my aunt's. She was a collector of dolls. And my cousin Barbara recently gave it to me. And this is our sidekick here on the show, George Burns. He's here every night. He's sort of my Ed McMahon. And this is the official commemorative doll when he became 100 years old. And it was my aunt's. And there, yeah, he's got the cigar. He's got his there's his feet. I never show the shoes, but there they are. He's got his glasses and he says hello as well to you and you and you and you. So George is here. And if I don't show George, everybody goes, where is George tonight? Where are the cast of characters? So now, in addition to George, we have Jeannie. This is the official I Dream of Jeannie bottle. Weighs a ton, all hand painted. And she's in there. I don't know if you can see her. She is in there with her beads and her couches. And she says hello. And she wishes you love and joy and light, levity, and lovity. So she's in there. I'm sorry I had to tip you over just so they can see you. You're probably hanging on to the beads. You doing all right? Yes, Master. So she's in there, or should be yes, Jim Masters, right? She's doing okay. So there's your George Burns. There's your Jeannie. Boy, do we have another character here that if I don't mention, I know it's going to happen. People are going to be posting, where is he? So he's here. There's your canine. When I was on that TV shoot in Europe from Switzerland, there is your friend, aptly named Silver. So there he is. Silver's there. Silver's at the house. He sees you and you and you. He sees all of you. He's sort of our mascot. He keeps things under control, here at our home studio for the Jim Masters Show Live. And another character here I know you guys love so much that you want me to show. And he's here. He's all excited. There he is. There's your friend Jimmy. Yep. Childhood toy. I love his blue feet made of porcelain. And there he is. And he waves to all of you and he says hello to all of you as well. So there you go. And again, if I'm not on, I may have him host the show. He's aptly trained. I think if you had an hour or so of him, you'll be in good hands as well. So your cast of characters are here. We welcome you. If this is your first time, you're in for a treat. We're on every night. And we always have a blast with we have a lot of viewer interaction as well. We'll be looking at the comments in just a minute. As you know, we always go big time here at the Jim Masters Show Live. We spare no expense for our beloved audience from around the world. So a little lights, camera, action. If you haven't had any lights, camera, action in your day today, you're going to get some here on our show. Here we go. Lights, camera, action. We are now officially starting the show. And it's great to have you with us. How is everybody doing? I hope you're having a good day. Beautiful sunny day here in the northeastern United States. That's where this show originates from, the northeastern United States and the greater New York City tri-state area. And it's always a blessing to have you here. And let's welcome our faithful audience. Some of the comments that are coming in. If this is your first time, feel free to post a comment. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, at our Jim Masters TV channel where all these shows are archived, we thank you and we say hello. If you're watching on Facebook at Jim Masters TV, we welcome you as well. And all the folks on Instagram at Jim Masters TV and Twitter at Jim Masters TV. Everything is Jim Masters TV. Here we go. So it's time to say hello to everybody, and then we're going to welcome our very special guest. And Christopher Joseph says he was Joseph in Joseph. So Joseph was Joseph in Joseph. Yeah, there's a little theme running there. And the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in Sylvania, Ohio. We recorded it at a channel 11, and aired it in 1978 on CBS with the Sylvania North View Choir. That's very cool. I know you're in the band, the New Love Express, but I didn't know you did that as well. Willie is here from Holland, from the Netherlands. Good to see you, Willie. Yes, I have those tulips from Holland when we were on the TV shoot in Holland, in the Netherlands. So, of course, we'll show you that. There you go. I know that puts a smile on your face. And I do this for the audience that's watching. I do this because Willie actually takes naps during her day to make sure she's up at what is now 1:15 a.m. in the Holland, in the Netherlands. 1:15 a.m. and she's up. So she went to bed, woke up just in time for the show. And although I don't know if she gets any sleep because she posts a lot. I get a lot of messages and posts on my pages from Willie. So I don't know if she really sleeps. I don't know if she's nocturnal or what it is, but you've got a lot of energy, Willie, and we welcome you to the show as well. Linda Odell, hello from Florida. Great to see you in the Sunshine State, Linda. I hope you guys are doing well in Florida, and we welcome you as well to the Jim Masters Show Live. And Merlin is here as well. Welcome to your living room. Well, welcome to our home studio. It's so nice to be in your living room as well, Merlin, there in Innerkip, Ontario, Canada. And Karen Levitt is here. Good to see you, Karen. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're getting ready for a fabulous 4th of July weekend. It's going to be a little different this year. It's going to be quieter, no big celebrations, no big parties and barbecues and big fireworks displays. I think some areas are doing fireworks, but it's going to be very controlled and very limited and socially distant. So still doesn't mean we shouldn't celebrate our freedom and our world, our country, and each other. If any time to celebrate, one another, it is now. And it shouldn't take a holiday for us to do that. We should do it every day. But good to see you in New Hampshire. And a friend of mine and a friend of our special guest, Danny Bolero, is the dear friend, June Rachelson Aspa. We say hello to you as well, June. Hope you are doing well. June and I, we chat almost daily, if not 5 times a day. Renee Jones Uscombe in Iowa, our breadbasket of the United States, keeping us well fed with all the bread and the corn and the potatoes and everything else. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Good to see you as well. We've got a great show in store. And Jacqueline Fakara Caputo is here. Hi, Jim and everyone. It's a blessing to have you with us there as well. Thanks for joining us. Ernestine Webb is with us here in North Carolina. Good to see you there in the Carolinas. Hi, Jim and everyone. Hope your day is nice. My day is fantastic, but it's even nicer now that you're here, Ernestine. So glad to have you with us here. And June is saying hi to everybody. We're getting those tulips from Willie in Holland. And for Renee, she says this is her Friday. I don't know about you, but I've accelerated this week. Yesterday, I thought it was Thursday. Today feels like Friday. It's just like that lately. Everything is so mishmash lately. And if you're in the type of industry that I'm in, entertainment, television, radio, and all of this, the days have really been merged together because so many things have been shuffled and paused and moved around. So, it's really amazing, how everything has changed lately. Hi, Jim Masters. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Crystal, yes. Love you. You've been with me for a long time. Even before we launched this show, you're always on my Facebook page. You're always posting and saying hello and being so supportive. And again, the last time we saw each other, we were at that concert that I was emceeing for the band Chicago. And I was doing that for public television. Remember? That's, about 2 years ago, year and a half ago, which was wonderful. You're from Massachusetts and you live in Connecticut. So it's wonderful to have you here from Connecticut. And Renee says she can't type today. Hey, that happens to all of us. Merlin in Ontario says, hi, George, Silver, Jeannie, Jimmy. Yeah, I knew. All the cast of characters are here. Marianne Kelly in New Jersey says, hello, it's great to see you. Marianne, I hope you have a nice, relaxing, familial weekend in store for the Independence Day that's coming up. And Merlin says, now you wouldn't think of this when you think of Canada, but it's hot in Innerkip, Ontario, Canada. What is your version of hot? 55 degrees? Let us know the temperature. I'd like to know how hot it is there. Hi from New York, Joy Lorenzo. Good to see you. And of course, there is little Connor, your grandson Connor as well. So if Connor's watching, we say hello to Connor as well. And yes, Willie is just updating us all, folks, that she is awake at 1:15 a.m. there in Holland. And oh, yes, you're talking about the shows that we're talking about that Danny have been in. Yes, on Broadway, of course, as well. And hi, Jim Masters. Love the fedora hat as well as the shirt. Thank you very much. The shirt is Banana Republic. The hat is in celebration and honor of our very special guest. You know, I'm a hat guy. I told you that before. And I remember when I had guitarist John La Barbera on, and we did that incredible interview, and he played for us, and he's a dear friend, and he's a professor too of music, but he plays every kind of guitar you can think of, even the Greek bouzouki. And we were talking about our hat collection. Yeah, I've always been a hat guy, and don't get to wear them on television as much because sometimes the scenario doesn't necessarily call for the hat. However, there's times in TV shoots that I have. Good to see you. Good to see you in Ohio, Kayanne, as well. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Party time. And we're getting more of Christopher's resume. Played the part of Levi and Farrah in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in Toledo, Ohio last summer. Good thing you did it last summer. This summer, might not have happened, but that's terrific. It's good to celebrate the arts in any way that you can. And speaking of that, I've got a wonderful person who's waiting in our luxurious green room with wine and cheese and crackers. I mean, we have just literally pulled out all the stops, and he's enjoying the wine and crackers and cheese right now in our green room. Now, he's in his living room. It's our great friend, Danny Bolero. Let me tell you about him. He's amazing, and we're so honored to have him here on the show. He is a native Angelino. Danny Bolero, now, if you don't know what that means, we're talking about Los Angeles. Danny Bolero started trading coastlines while making his Broadway debut in one of Joseph's 11 brothers in the Broadway revival of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice's musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant play. In 2009, Danny returned to Broadway when he joined the Broadway company of Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights. I remember actually co-hosting a public television special a couple of years back, and it was with the producers, and it was with a lot of people who were involved in the Heights, because In the Heights became such a blow up, phenomenal play, and it became such a legendary scenario, and it was so big and so huge. There was a public television special, and I got a chance to be a part of that. It was during the Broadway run that Danny auditioned and landed the principal role of Kevin Rosario for the first national tour of In the Heights. Now, of course, you know, Lin-Manuel Miranda also created Hamilton as well. That is that other big one. He later reprised on Broadway opposite the great Priscilla Lopez in the tour as well. And when Danny's In the Heights contract ended, he was faced with the question of do what next? What do we do? Now what? Do I stay in New York or do I go back to Los Angeles? His instinct told him to stay in the Big Apple. So he felt that now more than ever, it was time to make some career moves. And he says, boy, am I glad I did. When I was on Broadway in 1993, I couldn't get an agent. Now, could you imagine that? You're on Broadway and you can't get an agent? The agent should be knocking down the door. No one knew what to do with him or how to sell and market and promote and brand him. He felt it wasn't his time. In 1993, there was no In the Heights or Hamilton or Rent for that matter. This is long before that idea of casting actual Latins and Latino roles was even considered. It's not always been an easy journey, too. It's a tough business and an even tougher city, of course, absolutely. But he's stubborn and started to make some headway. Then in early 2018, Danny made his public theater debut in the new musical Miss You Like Hell, originating the role of Manuel. Two-time Tony nominee, defending Ruben Vega, Rent, Rocky Horror Show, In the Heights movie as Beatrice, and Undocumented Immigrant on the Verge of Deportation, a very powerful show that vast heartland, fierce humor as well. Original cast recording is available too. We'll talk about that. Danny plays Manuel, a widowed tamale seller who has the touch of a poet, is a great listener and connoisseur of life's simple pleasures. On the film front, Danny's had 2 films released last year, almost back to back. Rapid Eye Movement, a thriller in which Danny got to play Detective Ron Murdoch. It was the first film to be shot in Times Square since 9/11. And the Tribeca Best Film nominee, Low Tide, which opened to great reviews, both currently streaming on Amazon and on iTunes. Says this stay-at-home pandemic ordeal has given him a lot of time to reflect and has forced himself to keep creative. He finished writing a children's book, started to submit his short film into festivals, and he produced a Zoom-style music video as well, El Nuevo Mundo, and he's working on plans for a second one. He also started to do more writing as well with a nearby theater company in New Jersey to help produce a fully realized premiere of a show that he's been a part of for about 6 to 7 years, Coyote by Tim McCrory and Michael Amon. And, on the eve of his first preview for the Broadway revival of Neil Simon's Plaza Suite, starring, yes, about one day before the pandemic and the shutdowns and everything was really sort of announced, he was set to star on Broadway in the revival of Neil Simon's Plaza Suite, starring Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. Danny, also, of course, of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor, Dreamcoat, In the Heights fame, found himself quarantined, unemployed, and like everyone else at home watching the number of COVID-19 fatalities increase exponentially. And when he learned that a friend and colleague, New York director, actor, and producer Philippe Garzita, had lost his battle with the virus, Danny found it especially difficult to cope with what was happening around him. Feeling helpless and exhausted, he turned to music. Frustration soon became motivation as he listened to the opening number from Jason Robert Brown's Songs for a New World. He said his friend Philippe was such a nice guy, and all of a sudden, all of his hopes, dreams, and possibilities for him were gone. And we were losing 800 people a day, he said, in New York, and every one of them had their goals and dreams and friends and family, and everything had changed without warning for everyone. It's been really amazing. The new song, The New World, is about the moment one encounters when their world changes and everything they thought they were and knew is suddenly gone. And that's happened for so many people. At this point, when one realizes a new world is emerging and things will never be the same, they must quickly adapt and decide what to do next. He's just extraordinary, and he's very passionate, and he's been in just about everything. And again, television as well. You've probably seen him on shows and series and so much more, as I mentioned, Blue Blood and many others. It's an honor and a pleasure to have him here on the show. We're going to welcome him right now exclusively to our program. It is my pleasure to welcome Danny Bolero to our show. Good to have you with us, Danny.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
It is my pleasure. My pleasure. So how are you coping with the craziness of this pandemic and everything that we're all dealing with collectively?
It has its moments. There are good days and bad days. I think the important thing is to keep active and stay positive, because it's so easy to get into the slump, to get into depression. So I have to do something to keep my creative juices going. So I either write, or I take my dog for a walk, or I do this music video that I worked on with some wonderful talented friends. So that debuted a couple weeks ago. That's
really, really cool. What was the inspiration for that?
Well, I've always loved the song, and I was listening to it while the news was on, and the words sounded so different to me. It's like I'd never heard the song before, because everything pertained to what we were going through.
Right.
And so I thought, this is what I got to do next, because I couldn't march because of my, you don't know, it's scary.
Yeah.
And I realized that one of my friends was in the original production, Andrea Burns. So I thought, well, why don't I ask her, see if she wanted to do it, and she said yes. And then I got friends from In the Heights, brought them in, and it just fell into place. And we rehearsed it from 7 different locations, because we couldn't meet up. We never rehearsed together, and we just sang on our own, and hopefully it was going to match up. And thankfully it did. It all came out perfect.
That's fantastic.
And so it's just the power of thinking as one for a good cause. It's true. It's all true.
So I mentioned that you're a native Angelino. How did things first get started for you? Did you come from a family of entertainers and performers? Were you always the kid that was running around, putting on plays and entertaining for everybody? How'd you first get started? What was your entree into the world of the arts and entertainment and more?
Well, my family on my mother's side, they all learned instruments, and my uncles were professional musicians who were asked to play with Guy Lombardi. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh,
He
wow.
used to do the New Year's Eve.
Oh, Guy Lombardo. Yeah, the Guy Lombardo and the Royal Canadians. He
Yeah,
did the New
and
Year's Eve on CBS.
right, and they were asked to join the orchestra.
Really?
They were family men, and you just didn't do that in those times. So my brother took me out and started teaching me, asking me to do these these lip syncing moves to Diana Ross and the Supremes, and me like a dummy, I did them, but I got a lot of attention, and I was like, I kind of like that, and I was very shy as a kid too,
Mm.
so it kind of gave me a place to express myself, and I was bitten from then on. It was like I was I was I was aiming to be Diana Ross number two, but it didn't work.
But it didn't work.
I
Well,
had a long way to
you,
go.
you got the D, Danny, right? So you got the D. So where did it go from there? Education and lots of auditions and were you a kid when this was really starting for you?
Yeah, well, I saw a production of Oliver when my brother was in high school, and I'd never seen anyone stand and sing a song, and then what I felt from it, the way the person made me feel, and I thought I want to do that,
Yeah.
and then it was solidified when I saw West Side Story in the movie theater,
Mm,
and I don't know if you've ever seen it on the big screen, but
yeah.
I mean when they're dancing, it's like they're flying. And
Yeah.
it was the first time I'd ever seen people that looked like me
Right.
doing
Right.
what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted to make people feel what I was feeling.
Mm.
I wanted to give them that excitement. And so I begged my father for voice lessons. I begged him for theater classes. So I went to I went to a children's theater school and did small productions, and then auditioned for when I was in high school and did some little bit larger productions. Um, and then I realized that I was being cast only in the chorus,
Mm.
and I was the chorus. I don't know if the chorus is way back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there. I want to be in the front.
You want to be in the
And
front.
so I realized I had to develop my voice and get some skills under my belt. So I started studying with some professional teachers, and uh, in high school, I continued. We didn't have any arts in my school, so I had to go outside of the community to learn voice and to learn acting, and little by little, I got a couple scholarships. And when when I got out of high school, I was faced with, do I go to college? Because I wanted to go to USC really bad,
Right.
and or do I just do the facts of life, do the streets of life? And so I met a woman by the name of Margot Albert, who was married to Eddie Albert. She was a famous 40s film star. She was in the original Lost Horizon, and she was starting a Latino repertory company, and she wanted to take in young people and teach them technique and give them the skills to compete with people from Juilliard and people from USC, and we used to have class 5 nights a week, and not a penny did we have to pay for it. And it was just a way of teaching us and getting us to write,
Mm.
and not to be afraid of writing. That her big saying was, if you really want to work, you have to make it happen.
Right.
And so we were together for about 7 years, up until she passed, and then the group just disbanded. Except I decided I was going to put what she taught us to the test.
Yeah.
So I went out and I started auditioning, and I started getting roles, and little by little, and then I got into the union, which was a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And back then they were a little cheaper, and you could they all gave you breaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, you used to get breaks on
Oh,
the unions.
absolutely.
Yeah. And so
Now you have to mortgage the house.
yeah, exactly. Here, take my kid. Uh, so but my eye was always on Broadway. Theater has always been my love. So
Yeah.
um I did what you were supposed to do. I started working. I went back to school. I got a certificate in micro computers, and I worked I was assistant to the vice president of a human resources
Mm.
in LA that overlooked the music center.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
every year they had the Academy Awards,
Yeah.
And every year I used to watch all those people drive up, and I used to think, what am I doing here? I got to do something. This is not this was not meant
I
for
want to
me.
be in that crowd. I mean, I want to be with them. Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I asked my parents if they would help me for about a year and let me give it a shot. And a year turned into 2 years. I got my union card, and things started to take off.
Mm.
But back then in LA, I kind of learned by all the civic light operas and give you shots at leads, and you got to really learn the craft. They don't have those as much anymore in
No.
LA, unfortunately.
Right.
And I just did the rounds. I got an agent, and then I went to an audition of Joseph, which was a huge call, and I was late for the call, and I didn't have my card, so I had to wait all day, and they didn't get to see me. And back then there was a casting director from New York called Vinny Liff,
Mm-hmm.
Johnson Lift, who fantastic gentleman. And he said, "Why don't you come back tomorrow at the agent's call at the Pantages?" And I said, "Sure." So that evening I had a friend teach me the combination. We were out to I was making stick figures, and I went back the next day for on the stage of the Pantages in LA, and I auditioned, and I got the part. One of the brothers,
Wow.
and
That was meant to be.
it was meant to be. And it's funny because 7 years earlier was my first trip to New York, and I just wanted to do an audition. I was in union. I just wanted to go just try it, and I had forgotten this until years later.
Yeah.
I auditioned for a production of Joseph.
Mm.
And I didn't even realize that it was the same show. I didn't even give him the right number because I was leaving the next day. I just wanted to
Right.
do this. But it was a connection right there. It was very strange. But yeah, and then the rest, going back and forth to New York, flying in for auditions. But I'm glad I'm here. It just wasn't my time back then. They actually didn't know what to do with me.
Which is amazing, right? I said that in the introduction. And so were you ever disheartened by any of that? Or did you know this is something you needed to do? It's in my DNA. And regardless of what happens, even if there's some pauses here and there, I'm going to continue to move forward because I have to do this work.
Yeah. It was hard to say I'm leaving, but I felt it wasn't right. It wasn't my time. New York was very different back then too.
Yeah.
We're talking about 93,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went back home, and thankfully I did, because my father had Alzheimer's.
Mm.
He had been dealing with it for about 7 years.
Yeah.
And when I got back home, I realized my mom had it. So I took off some time, and I became their caregiver, and a year turned into 4 years.
Right.
So I was a caregiver to both of them. So
which is amazing,
Yeah.
amazing, because I've interviewed a lot of people, not on this show, but in some of my professional work. And the caregiver needs care as much as the people sometimes that are being cared for, because you put your life on hold. There's financial strain, there's the emotional toll, and you can literally get wiped out emotionally, financially, physically from the emotion, especially when it is Alzheimer's. But any kind of caretaking and caregiving, you can really, the caregiver is often forgot about. And in this case, you had both happening, and you're doing it out of love and care for them because they cared for you. But that must have been a very physically and emotionally draining period for you.
Yeah, it was very difficult. And once my mom ended up getting cancer and passed, and then my dad passed. And what I found was when I lost them, I felt like my life was done as well.
Yeah.
Because your whole purpose is to serve them.
Right.
And I kept thinking, this is silly, because I'm still a young man. Why?
Right.
And it took some therapy, and then I auditioned for a Royal Caribbean cruise show, and I booked it, and it took me around the world, and that was what saved me. That really, it's what turned my life around, because I found what I wanted to do, and I was with people that I loved, and I had my parents with me that entire time.
Yeah.
It's funny
and
how
they're still with you.
Yeah, definitely.
They're still with you, right?
Yeah, it strengthens your belief, when you lose someone.
Did it also alter or enhance your acting and your performance add certain elements with that amount of significant loss like that, add just other influences to your acting and your ability that maybe weren't there before. They were there, but maybe they just enhanced and made things more deeper now.
They were easier to tap into. There were more on the surface.
Right.
Anger, sorrow, all of that was you were able to tap into it a lot easier. And I remember a teacher telling me, just try to tap into this emotion, and I do try, and now I realize a lot of the experiences I hadn't been through. So once you do cross over to those moments, you're able to tap into them, and they're so easier to call upon. And at the same time, you call upon the people like your parents. You bring them into your life again for those moments. So it's nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how did you move forward from all of that and still continue and still keep that train on the track then, Danny?
Just audition. I had felt that it was time to just really concentrate, and everything was about the job.
Yeah.
And it still is to some extent. And I've had friends tell me, it's all about working. And I don't know if that's a good or bad, but right now that's where my head has to be.
Yeah. Because it gives you great joy. And like with other people I've had an opportunity to interview, we're all people that are doing this kind of work where we're putting ourselves out there. We're in the public eye and we're investing in the work. And we're also sharing so many elements of who we are being in the public eye in this way. Really is a reflection of the authenticity of who we are, and to be able to do that through the ups and downs of life and continually do it. It's really extraordinary. So you've made the investment early on that this is what you're going to do. And we are communicators. We're storytellers. We're communicators. We create feeling and imagery and emotion and how we show people how to stop and pause and think about certain dynamics of life, relationships, and the way we act and react. And all of these things are really important. And when you are doing that, you're so full. So it's something, like you say, you got to keep working. But to you, it's not even work. It's who you are, right, Danny?
Yeah. It's discovery. It's sharing. It's giving back. I mean, sometimes the best gift back is somebody will say, you remind me of my father, or you remind me of my grandfather, or my, and it's what feeds you, because it's why we do what we do.
Yeah, exactly. So you've also touched into the world of television too, right? Tell us about some of the opportunities you've had on TV. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I did Blue Bloods and Power, and I'm laughing because I had a panic attack on Power.
Did you?
A little bit. I was forgetting my lines, and it got worse. And it was.
Were you overthinking?
I was overthinking, and
right.
and it was in a house, and there were a lot of people, and it was stuffy,
right,
and I just started to get a little panicky.
Yeah.
And the director kept yelling the lines from the other room. And I thought, they're never going to hire me again. That's it. And I remember they had a blood sample on the floor because someone had died in that apartment. And I ended up stepping in it by accident. So they had to clean it up and put it on again.
More ketchup, please. Stat.
I know. And I kept saying they're gonna pull somebody else in to finish the scene, but after it was done, 2 weeks later they called me back again. Wow. But I was off doing another show, so I couldn't do it. But it was a lesson,
Exactly. So it must have been cool to be on that set. I mean, you got Tom Selleck, you got some really great actors, and that series in CBS has been going strong for years.
Yeah, it was very cool. It was very cool because everybody knows who they are.
Right.
And everybody's eyes were peeled on what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very nice. They're very, very, very nice. And it's like there's certain shows that when you're not from New York, it's like once you hit these shows, you're a New Yorker. It's CSI.
Yeah.
And what is it? The other one, Blue Bloods. And then there's a investigative reporter. I mean, there's a couple.
Yeah, yeah, I know which ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
I hit those two already, so that's good.
and of course, The Odd Couple.
And The Odd Couple. Yeah, definitely.
Those are all Sex in the City. I mean, there's so many of them.
Yeah, I
Speaking of
know.
that, Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew Broderick, as I mentioned when I was doing the introduction, that you were literally working towards and rehearsing and building up and getting ready, and on the cusp of this Broadway play, the remake of Neil Simon's phenomenal Plaza Suite. That had Walter Matthau and so many others, I think, in it originally. It was really
Right.
Maureen Stapleton and
Stapleton.
really, really funny stuff. I love the movies of that time period. I also love The Out of Towners with Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis,
Yeah.
that other Neil Simon. Just
Yeah.
the wit of Neil Simon, the wit of Norman Lear, and the wit of the one we just lost this week, Carl Reiner.
Or Reiner.
Just that sensibility, that human condition, that
Mhm.
wit and understanding of the idiosyncrasies of life.
Yeah.
And Plaza Suite was like that too. And you were just about to be starring in that, and then all of this happened. Tell us about all of that.
Well, we had 5 weeks out of town in Boston, and we premiered at the original theater that the show premiered in 30 some years ago. And it was quite exciting, you know, and we were sold out every night. And it was so incredible to hear the audience's laughter, because the show's written so beautifully, and it's
very witty, and
very witty. And it was roars of laughter, and it gets you laughing with them. I mean, you see it every night, but every night's a little different. And I'm like, just wait till we get to New York. They're gonna love this show. And they were Matthew and Sarah were just amazing in the show. And the chemistry between them was lovely.
Yeah.
And just wait till we get, it's built in. And I was like, just wait till we get to New York. Just wait till we get to New York. And we started rehearsing. Beautiful set. And they called us in that Thursday morning, and we all sat down, all kind of, you know, dumbfounded, and they gave us the news that we were going to have to close because of the virus. And it
must have been a collective.
Yeah. And it's just when people were afraid of, well, don't get too close, and nobody knew exactly what to do.
What was happening?
Masks.
It was all new. Yeah.
So we all gathered on this stage in that beautiful set, and we took a photo together, and that was the last time we saw each other. Thankfully, they're planning to remount it in March
2021.
So,
yeah, that's great. I think that
hopefully
next year, hopefully, if we get the vaccine and the things we need to do, and we all do it together, whether it's the mask, social distancing, everybody on the same page with everything, because right now everybody's still not on the same page, and it's rising again, and it's a mess. But I think when things, whether it's entertainment or sports or just anything, I think it's going to be amazing. Everybody's going to be supporting everything. Everybody's going to, they're going to savor things that maybe they didn't savor as much before about life and about certain things that are out there. Like right now, it's nature. Everybody is getting in touch with nature. They're walking, they're taking time to breathe and do things that they didn't have time for before, because we're all trying to empty our inboxes. We're all answering our cell phone calls and all this craziness. But now we have time to, celebrate the arts and culture and nostalgia. People are loving it. Nostalgia is huge right now. Things from people's childhoods, things that make them feel good. And comedy is huge right now. I mean, I'm watching reruns of the Dick Van Dyke Show every night now.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff that makes you feel good.
I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy, all of it. Absolutely. And that's really important, right? I think that people are realizing that there are things in life that are more important than the buzz and the bling, right?
Exactly. And the thing that struck me was when we first closed down, it was so clear that every message on TV was about how to get your dollar out of your pocket.
Yes.
It's about selling you. Everything was about selling you something.
Yeah, right.
And it's always been like that, but it hit me a lot harder this time, because that's all you want is my dollar in my pocket.
That's it.
That's it. And it was frustrating to see that over and over and over on every channel.
Yeah.
But that's things happen for a reason, and we'll learn that reason soon enough.
Absolutely. I want to show some clips here of your extraordinary work. You've been generous
Thank
enough
you.
to send our research department some of the amazing clips that we have here of you doing your thing, and we'll talk about them. We got a lot of nice photos we're going to share as well. But let's take a look at some of the extraordinary work of our wonderful, talented friend here, the incredible Danny Bolero. Here we go, and we'll be back right after this. Enjoy.
Browning's daughter's name is Clarissa.
Clarissa.
God, that was Clarissa. I got that, and you trace it to the killer.
Dr. Rance and Dr. Gray's deaths are unrelated. Deal with it. The idea that a murderer is going to call you and offer you evidence is absurd.
Listen.
No, you listen. You use me again to boost your dog and pony show, and I'll arrest you.
What's the problem?
Problem? No, there's no problem. Quite the contrary. Well, there is a problem. For me, but not for you.
All right. I ain't got time for
No,
this.
wait. Give me a minute of your life. I might just change it forever. I'm sure you will have heard of me. Máximo Cristobal Valdespino, the renowned explorer.
Al lado de su tumba.
Sí, hijita. Claro que sí.
No. Te voy a llevar al doctor.
No, no puedes dejar a tu padre solo. La Virgen me prometió que volverías a proteger su tumba.
Por favor, mamá, no puedo.
Tienes que quedarte, Julio.
Yeah, I am.
You know, no one blames you for what happened, Mac. It's the nature of the sport.
You know what, Bobby? That's what you always say. Broken rib, busted up face. It's all the nature of the sport, right?
This is no different.
No, it is. I'm not a fucking dog, Bobby. Screw this contract. I'm retiring.
Chuck is gonna be Chuck. But he's right. If you retire, they're gonna hit you with every lawyer they got.
Have you decided?
Oh, okay. Shit. 34. 34.
34.
How can I not do it? How can I not do it? How do I not order it?
Have you decided?
Fuck.
Apparently, the shots fired call came from this location not long after you and I spoke. We found his car parked outside.
What is this place?
A flop we put together as part of his cover.
Your engine carburetor was flooded. We cleaned it. It's okay. Don't pay me now.
I live in the basement of an American. I have never been a nanny.
I don't care about that. I want names of farms. Now.
Please, I love this country. I'm a Yankee fan. But I also like the Mets, if that's your thing.
I'm not with immigration. I'm a friend. Sort of. Just tell me, where does Richard & Sons get its produce?
All I know is the Mucho Malo goes on the run every night to the farms.
Who is this Mucho Malo? What is his name?
They call him Green.
Excuse me, I don't believe we've met.
I am Adolfo.
You are Adolfo?
Yes, I am Adolfo.
Not the Adolfo.
Yes, I am Adolfo.
Funny, you don't look like a scoundrel.
Yes, what?
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, the scope and the range. Were there any? Do you have a favorite of those characters, or it's tough to really pinpoint one favorite? You're
Actually,
amazing.
Thank you. The last character, Adolfo, was one of my favorites. It was a ball playing that character. I had so much fun because it was physical comedy and the songs and the dancing, and I loved it. I hope to do it again soon.
That's some real there too. Again, it really shows the wide range and scope and breadth of your body of work, huh?
Thank you.
I mean, when you see it, you must be like, "Wow, I did that. Oh, I forgot about it. I did that. Oh, I did that too."
I remember. I just like, boy, my hair was dark back then. God, I had more hair back then. Wow.
Well, they have things. They have things for that.
Yes, they do. I'm learning.
We are in the entertainment industry. They have things. I want to share a couple more, and there was a little clip of that, the drowsy chap. I want to show that, and we're going to come back, and we'll talk about that right after. Okay.
Okay.
So here is more of the work of the incomparable Danny Bolero, live right here. Our special guest on the Jim Masters Show live. Here we go.
On the plan B, and for that, I'll need an accomplice. Someone gullible with loose morals. I need what do you call it? A European.
No me toca, mi amore!
Enter Adolfo, self-proclaimed ladies' man. Excuse me, I don't believe we've met.
I am Adolfo.
You are Adolfo?
Yes, I am Adolfo.
Not the Adolfo.
Yes, I am Adolfo.
Funny, you don't look like a scoundrel.
Just what?
I just now overheard the groom say that Adolfo is a scoundrel. I just heard him say that.
What? Adolfo is scoundrel.
Those very words.
Adolfo is scoundrel.
It's like I'm hearing it again.
Why, this is outrageous. He is saying this to people, beautiful ladies with breasts for making love. Why, I must.
You must take matters into your own hands.
Yes, I must take the groom into my hands and kill him.
Yes, no, don't kill him. Just hurt him enough so he can't get married.
Show me to this groom.
Wait, what?
What sort of man is this groom? Is he a big man?
Well...
Is he a burly fellow?
Well, he's big on the outside.
No. Adolfo will not fight big men. Small, pale, wheezy, tiny little dwarf people Adolfo can punt far away, yes, but no big men.
So, you're a lover, not a fighter, eh?
Yes, Adolfo is a lover of beautiful ladies. Some say I am the king of romance.
Well, you know what they say. The best way to get revenge on a man is through his...
door.
No. The best way to get back at a man is through his...
window.
No! Revenge! Back at a man! Through his...
Through his... There is no other way. I am not Santa Claus climbing down the chimney.
Through his woman!
Oh, through his woman.
Yes, Adolfo. You must seduce his bride.
Adolfo will make love to his bride. That will show people Adolfo is no scoundrel. Show me to this bride. Wait, what sort of woman is this bride? Is she a big woman?
No.
Is she a burly woman?
No, she's the cat's pajamas.
What? Pajamas?
She's a looker, an attractive woman.
Show me to this cat in pajamas. I will make her purr.
Stop it!
Like a cat in pajamas.
No!
I love that guy.
You know what I love? I love the expression on your face when you're watching it. You're watching it almost like with a fine-tooth comb. You're really studying it, and you're analyzing it, and you've got this real serious look on your face. And I do that too when I see back stuff I've done on television and everything else. Everybody else is just watching it and enjoying it, and I'm like really looking at it and just all the nuances and things that I might have missed before. And that's cool to watch you watching you.
Yeah, thanks. Well, it's funny. I may be doing that role again. Well, knock on wood, next year.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So I was looking at, what can I change? How can I make it different? Who am I now? Blah, blah, blah. You know.
Absolutely. Great comments coming in here. Hi, Jim and Danny from RG
Hi.
Inman. She is in Vancouver, Washington, and Renee Jones Oscom in Iowa. Very true. I took care of my mom for 4 years, quit my job for the last 2 years, and got very depressed then. Christopher Joseph says, I was a caregiver for my mom and dad many years. My father passed in March 2020. I'm sorry to hear that, Christopher. We didn't know that recent. Takes a strong person to care for, be a caregiver. Yes, it absolutely does. And Willie in Holland, the Netherlands, says, is that your dog, Danny, on the photo in the background?
Oh, yes. That's my little 7-year-old. He just turned 7 yesterday.
What's his name?
That's Mozart.
Mozart.
His name was originally Goya, after the painter.
Oh,
and for 2 weeks, he answered to Goya. And every time I introduced him, oh, this is Goya. All I kept hearing, you mean like the bean?
Right.
I'm like, no, not like the bean, like the painter. So I changed it to Mozart. Momo, come here. Mozart, come here. Where's it? Come
Another
here.
great interview with guest Danny. Hi, Jim and Danny. That's my sister in Florida saying hello to you, Danny.
Hi.
Yeah, the family in
Hi,
Florida in the sunshine. And there's Mozart. Cute, cute. Let me take myself out and make this.
Oh, this way. Hey, let's say hi, Mozart. He's like, who? I don't see anybody. What?
Say, what? What's this about? Yeah, cutie. 7 years old, you said?
Yeah, I got him when he was 8 weeks old.
What type of dog?
He's a Bichon Cockapoo, and very smart.
I bet you Mozart's been also has been getting you through this whole situation too, having the love of a dog. It's unconditional love, unconditional.
Well, there was a time where they were saying about there's possibility that they can contract the virus.
Yeah.
And so I wrapped him up and I put the little balloon shoes on his feet every day, and because you never know,
Absolutely. Right.
I don't know what I'd do if I lose him. He's my family here in New York.
So cool, Danny, to do what you love and love what you do. I agree with that. Avril Britton in United Kingdom in Great Britain watching. She says hello.
Hello.
And hello to Danny, and Kathleen in New York City says hello. Christine Fairwood says evening. Merlin in Canada says hello. Renee says hello. Kay Ann says hello, Mr. Bolero.
Hello, Miss Reddick.
Broderick, yeah, and Ernestine says hello, Danny, in North Carolina. She is, and we have lots and lots of comments here.
So nice.
Yeah, I like to do everything I do. I like it to be interactive, even in my professional work as well. Danny Bolero, thank you for sharing your sharing and vulnerability too. Caring for your parents is an act of love. Ours too. I understood. You're a strong, humble man. Absolutely, absolutely, beautifully said, and. Yeah, a lot of great comments here. And you'll do that all over again. So talking to Christine.
Hey, Christine.
And Marianne Kelly, New Jersey says, what range? Talking about what you just saw. And wow, what diversity of roles as well. From KN. And Austin Field says, very cool demo reel.
Thank you,
absolutely. And that was hot off the presses today.
Exactly.
Our little inner secrets, right? Christine, wow, so versatile. Kathleen says, nice work, Danny.
Thank you, Kevin.
Body of work, Christopher. Very nice, Renee. Amazing talent, Danny. And
wow, I'm not going to want to leave.
I was going to say, and none of these are your family either. These aren't your cousins or. Hi, Jim. Thanks for the show. We love it when you watch in the United Kingdom. It's always beautiful having you here, Avril. Great acting, Danny. Love it. Ralph Lampkin says, fab. Ralph, I don't know if you know Ralph. He's an amazing person as well. Bravo. And Christine says, pajamas. And from Cuba, that says that instead of pajamas. So she picked that up, right?
Pajamas.
Yes. Whipped cream instead of whipped cream. Yes. Jacqueline, great, amazing energy. Danny, yes, he's a bundle of energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got Latin in his soul, and that is energy right there. Christine, cute puppy. Oh, so cute. They're now. I don't know. You're competing with Mozart. Mozart, I think, is winning. Hi, Mozart.
It's time to go to bed, Mozart.
Right. You're stealing Danny's thunder.
Exactly.
Beautiful dog. Very cute dog. Oh, cute doggy. You hearing this, Mozart? It's all about you, Mozart. And Mozart, Silver says hello.
Silver, say hello, Silver.
There you go. What a cute dog from Kathleen. Adorbs. I had Bishan's so smart.
It's very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Sweet dog, Mozart. Again, hi, Danny. Great performance. Love Mozart. Well, we're going to show you a few more clips. We have some really cool stuff here to share with you on the Jim Masters Show Live. It's in the 8 o'clock hour. If you're just joining us, this is some of my broadcast training. It's the top of the hour. So the station identification is you're watching the Jim Masters Show Live, simulcasting on YouTube and Facebook at Jim Masters TV Worldwide. My special guest, the multi-talented Mozart, along with Danny Bolero.
You already got top billing.
Mozart is in the house. And Broadway television and film star and dear new friend of our show, Danny Bolero. And we're going to show you some more performances here, and then we'll talk about them right after this. So enjoy.
I was born in San Francisco, where the bay was full of cruisers, where the west wind smells of fishing boats for 50 miles around. And my father wore a crew cut. He was lean and he was handsome, and my mother wore a sash of yellow roses on her gown. They would walk me down from Green Street, past cathedrals on a hillside. I remember how they looked there, when their eyes were always living, when my father loved a girl with yellow roses on a gown. Then we moved to Placer County, where the weather was a joker, and I saw my parents' laughter turn from amber into eyes. But my father never stumbled. He would tell me things will change soon, and my mother wore a sash of yellow roses on her gown. And my mother stood beside him, though her heart was on a hillside of a city where a soldier and his lover let it down. And at night, amidst the whispers of the pines and manzanita, she would cry into the sash of yellow roses on the ground. Now my father's living eastward by the Sacramento River, I visit him on weekends. His grass is overgrown. Sometimes after dinner, I would gaze away the evening in the attic at a sash of yellow roses on a gown.
That's very touching. Very, very beautiful.
It's a gorgeous song.
Wow. And to be able to do that tribute to, your folks like that as well. I mean, that took a lot to be able to do that. I mean, I've done a lot of video tributes for family members and using my, video background and everything. And they're sometimes difficult to do because, especially if they're gone, if you're celebrating relatives or family or friends who are no longer with us, but you're compelled to do it, aren't you? You're drawn to do it. It's something you've got to tell their story, and you've certainly done that beautifully.
Thank you. Did you ever have a chance to sing it for them, for these people?
For the one, I haven't sung it for people that have passed, but I've been tasked with and have done 5 eulogies. And then I've done major video tributes. I did a video tribute one of my mother's oldest sister. My mother's the youngest of 16, big family. And when her oldest sister had passed, Gertie, I did this incredible video tribute, all to music and the whole thing. And it was one of those things that when we finished showing it at the funeral home, there was silence for 10 minutes. Nobody knew what to say next because they really felt the depth of the loss and all of the years and all the different songs and the way it was flowing and edited. And even the pastor, when it was all finished and I did the eulogy, and I think my sister came up too, because she was more like a grandmother to us than an aunt. And the pastor had come up to us and said, I didn't know her. I didn't know your Aunt Gertie, but I felt, and I've done a lot of funerals and I've done a lot of these things before, but I felt like I knew the depth of this woman and what she meant to all of the family and the relatives, and all these years being sort of like the matriarch of that side of the family, being the oldest of all of those, my mother's sisters and brothers. And I've never experienced anything like this in my life. So it's the depth of, for me, that was like, that's exactly what I had hoped. That's exactly what I wanted people to get out of it. And it's an extension, I think, of being a creative person and the work that I do as well. So maybe we have that extra third eye to be able to do things like that. But it's also an extension of who we are as people. And I'd like for you to be able to do that is an extension really of celebrating them, but also pouring out your relationship and feelings about them, and this need to have others really get that. So when that pastor said to me, I got it, and I never met her before, but I feel like I've known her for years, that's all I needed to hear. Yeah. All the relatives crying deeply after they watched it and during it meant a lot too, because as they were crying, we were all crying. We were really feeling it as we were watching the video tribute. But so haven't sung it, and it's funny, she was the aunt who, when we were at an event in Connecticut, a Sergio Franchi event, tribute to him. And I took her to it because my friend Ava Franchi, his widow, is a friend of mine for years. And we were out on this lawn in these fold-out chairs. And it was a beautiful outdoor concert on the grounds of Sergio Franchi's estate in Connecticut. And she says to me, because I had just done my uncle's video tribute and eulogy as well, her husband, our Uncle Ray. And she said, now, Jimmy, they call me Jimmy because I'm like the fifth James. So Jimmy, she goes, Jimmy, I want to put my order in now. And I'm like, you're ordering now? You're ordering for what, Aunt Gertie? She says, I want you to be the one who does my eulogy because I love the way you did it. This one and that one and this one and that one. And I'm like, oh, well, we'll discuss that when you're 110. You know what I mean? So I ended up doing it for her and for others, friends and some other family as well. And it's beautiful when you get to do that. So I felt very, and I'm sure other people watching did too. I felt very connected to your parents and to you when watching that. It made me think of my family and friends as well, which is a beautiful testament to your work. When people connect to what you're doing and then they see elements of themselves in it.
Yeah, thank you. It's a beautiful song, originally recorded by Johnny Mathis.
Yeah.
And when I first heard it, it was out of print, so it took me forever to hunt it down. And I wanted to perform it for my parents, and I never got a chance to. I could never get through it.
Right.
I could never get through the song, and it wasn't until a few years after they had passed that I dug it out and I said, I'm going to get through it and I'm going to sing it, and that's what you see. But thank you.
Some songs just really. There's certain Christmas music that knocks me out too sometimes. But if it's done instrumentally with a cello or something, then I'm like, okay, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I hear more great comments coming in. Danny Joseph Rhinone Jr., who's in Stamford, Connecticut, excellent, truly a Broadway voice and beautiful mother. Danny,
thank you.
Picture, great performance. Christine says, where were your parents from?
My mother was born in Arizona, and my father was born in Mexico.
Beautiful.
So,
it comes from the soul. Standing ovation and claps from Merlin. You bring me to tears. It is so beautiful. Willie, who is now up in the Netherlands and Holland at 2:15 a.m. as she's the one that she takes the naps so she doesn't miss our show every night. She is she's crying as a result and had really felt it.
That's wonderful.
Wonderful performance, beautiful song. Love your singing. Very heartfelt. You touched my soul. Now, interesting about Margie Inman, she watches this show every night and she's in a lot of significant physical pain. And she's written to me. She writes often on my pages and private messages and everything, telling me how much she enjoys the shows. But she said she looks forward to this 1 hour or so with this show because during the time when we have conversations with great guests like you, or just even when I'm just hosting the show, even when there isn't a guest, during the time, and again, this is an essence of the work we do, you do, I do, and people like us. During the time that she's with us watching this show, it allows her to completely forget about the physical pain. She doesn't feel the pain, she said, when she's here engaged in situations like this. That's quite beautiful and quite amazing. And I'm sure you hear things like that too, that people escape and they refocus and the entertainment value, but also the caring nature sort of takes pain away from people during at least the time that you're performing.
It's what it's all about, you know?
It really is. Such feeling, very beautiful voice, beautiful, so relaxing, lovely voice. Got lots of fans here.
Wow, thank you, everyone.
Dynamic voice. I always like the word dynamic. That's a good one. And Christopher recognized the song. Willie, what a beautiful voice. Yeah, really, really beautiful stuff we have here. And wow, even more coming in. Hi, Jim and Danny. This is Eileen Barker from Australia.
Hey, from down under.
Down under, the Midlands, east of Perth, and Western Australia, she says, and she always says, and I hope you still posted it because I know it's breakfast time there for you, Eileen, because it's morning in Australia and you're heading into winter. She always says that the show for her is a ripper of a time. Real Australian word, ripper. I like that. So we've created ripper and levity. You can't go wrong with that. Ripper of a time. Danny's integrity of character and authenticity enables him to resonate and personify such a broad range.
Oh, thank you. What a great smile, Marianne.
She's got a good one there. Print that out, put that on the top of your resume. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ripper, she did it for us on watching on YouTube. She wrote Ripper, having a Ripper time with Jim and Danny. That's awesome. I have a couple more clips I do want to share, folks. We have some really fantastic material here. Here's another one, and this was tied to Plaza Suite, and we'll take a look and we'll talk about this. Here we go.
Why, hello there. Welcome to the Plaza Hotel. I'm here learning how to make classic drinks from the 1960s. Why? Because I play waiter in Plaza Suite on Broadway. So with you behind me, we'll learn together. How's that sound? This is Laura, the head bartender of the Rose Club. You've been here how long?
I've been here almost 20 years.
And she's going to show us how to make 60s drinks.
We're going to start first with the Gin Ricky. It was very popular back in the 60s. I'm going to start with fresh juice from a lime.
Ooh,
We're
yeah.
going to juice a half a lime into a highball glass like this. Tanqueray gin is great for using with lime juice because it's already infused with lime. I'm going to go ahead and add some of our nice big cubes here. And then I'm going to add some fresh club soda to it. And there you go.
Nice.
That is our 60s Gin Ricky.
That was the best training ever. Thank you, Laura. Now I got to deliver the drinks upstairs, and I will see you at the Hudson Theater.
And it's to that. That's fantastic. Yeah.
It's so funny when at the very end when I say "I'll see you later," as I walked off, I spilled all the drinks on the floor.
See,
and
folks, you get the
"Keep it,
behind the scenes stuff here at the Jim Masters Show live.
Oh, so good to see that. It's,
Trip, or did it all just fall? Or
yeah, well, because I was coming out of camera and I was getting off the carpet, and as I stepped off the carpet, they all fell. They all broke on the glass on the pavement, and it was like I said, "Keep it in. That's funny." They didn't keep it in. They don't listen to me.
Like Dick Van Dyke tripping over the ottoman, right?
Exactly.
Just like that. We have another clip here I want to show as well. And so that before we do that, that was Plaza Suite. That's what was getting ready to launch, right? And then it's going to launch in March of 2021.
Yeah, and it's the first time it's been revived on Broadway. And Sarah and Matthew play 6 different characters. Well, each play 3 different characters.
Right.
And they like quick changes, and they come back and they are so funny in it. And I told her, I said, there are parts that she does. She reminds me of Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
And I had never thought about that before, but her comedy is so natural.
Right.
And it was so great to watch them together, to work together.
They really work beautifully. And of course, Matthew's father was the late James Broderick, veteran actor, and starred in that beloved ABC series Family with Christy McNichol and Seda Thompson and Gary Frank and Meredith Baxter Burney and Quinn Jones. He was a great actor as well. Let's take a look at a little bit more of Red Dead Redemption, and then we'll come back.
Yeah. What? I just don't understand this at all. Hey, over here!
What's the problem?
Problem? No, there's no problem. Quite the contrary. Well, there is a problem. For me, but not for you.
All right. I ain't got time for
No, wait! Give me a minute of your life. I might just change it forever. I'm sure you will have heard of me. Maximo Cristobal Valdespino, the renowned explorer.
Can't say I have.
There has been much written about me. I once had high tea with the Viceroy of India. I helped liberate South America. I've climbed mountains and swum across seas. I have had many women. I've spent the last 3 months hunting treasure on the American frontier. Beautiful country. Reminds me a lot of Almeria. But tomorrow I set sail for the island of Shikoku in the Japanese archipelago in search of the legendary Tokushima sapphire.
Well, good for you.
No, hold on. You see this map here? It was made by the Jackhole Gang. They rob banks all the way from here to California.
Yeah, I know who the Jack Hall Gang are.
Oh, them you have heard of, but me? Huh. Well, Rumor has it they buried gold somewhere in this area, but were killed before they could retrieve it. They created 2 maps to ensure it was well hidden. This is the first and should lead you to the second. You just need to follow the landmarks drawn here.
Me?
Yes! Unfortunately, I am out of time now, but I am prepared to sell it to you for the low price of $10. A trifling investment for a man such as you, given the potential returns.
Ah, what the hell? Why not?
A very wise investment. I wish you the best of luck.
Let's go, girl.
That was something else, huh?
Yeah. I was praying because I was watching it one day and it led to a different outcome. And they must have shot me like 25 times and then threw me over the cliff. And I thought, did I put that in there? Oh no, oh no, oh no.
I saw you were like looking through it one eye. Funny.
Oh my God, that was so brutal the way they kill me.
Like,
such a nice guy I was.
I was gonna say, I tell you, it's a rough business, right?
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun doing that as well.
You were terrific. I mean, you couldn't even like recognize you necessarily. I mean, the makeup, just the way they did it. And where was that filmed?
It was just a voiceover. It was for Rockstar, and I actually did not book the gig originally.
Really?
And they called me later, and they gave me the job, and they told me you got this in more in 2 hours than the guy had in 2 weeks. So I did that in one day. And you have to tape record all the different outcomes, which was very interesting. Because depending which way the player goes, you have to have either an exit or a continuance to a different scene. So it's very interesting how they do that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you were the voiceover and hours and hours probably in the booth, right?
It was a full day in the booth, but we did the whole thing in one day. And I've never seen so many people work on one video game. It was a huge cast of different characters.
Mm-hmm. And that's for people to realize that was part of a video game, which is amazing, huh?
Yeah. And it's quite, did really well. So it was a lot of fun. It's something I'd really like to get more into
the animation world and voiceover and things of that nature. Yeah. That's cool stuff. I've done a lot of voiceover work too over the years, but not yet for any animation stuff. But that is a cool area to go into. Absolutely. Absolutely. We also have it really, really is. Absolutely. We've got another cool clip here that we're going to take a look at, and we want to bring this up. And let's surprise everybody and see what we have here, and then we'll talk about it. Ed Begley Jr.'s Cesar and Ruben. Here we go.
Por el camino del sitio mío, carretero alegre paso.
Con sus canciones es muy sentida, muy guajira, alegre canto.
Me voy hasta el corredor a descargar la carreta.
Me voy a transbordador a descargar la carreta.
Para cumplir con la meta de mi pequeño labor.
A caballo vamos pa' monte, a caballo vamos pa' monte, a caballo vamos pa' monte, a caballo vamos pa' monte.
Duermo despierto mientras sueño. Y cruzo el tiempo y vuelvo hasta el primer ayer. Entre la luz del primogenio. Espera la memoria que otro vio nacer. Cuando llegue la hora. El fin de mi camino, que mi sonrisa diga que acepto lo que fui, las cosas materiales las dejaré contigo, solo irá conmigo todo lo que aprendí. Que hay tiempo para dar y otro para recibir. Hay un tiempo para pensar y otro para decidir. Que hay un tiempo para olvidar y otro para entender. Hay un tiempo para ganar y otro tiempo a perder. I'm afraid, Reuben. Of death? No, of this trial. We don't have 5.4 million. If we lose this, it's the end of the union.
Do you ever have to resort to violence, Mr. Chavez? You know, for La Causa.
I did not.
Did any member of your union?
We have a policy of nonviolence.
Yes, I know what your policy is, Mr. Chavez. But what if I could produce a witness who would testify under oath that one of your workers threw a rock at them? Would that be a lie, Mr. Chavez?
That's shit.
No further questions.
Recess. Hey, throw a stone and watch the ripples flow. Moving out across the bay. Like a stone, I fall into your eyes. Deep into that mystery. Deep into that mystery. Helen, I got half a mind to scream out loud. I got half a mind.
That was really terrific. Really, really beautiful stuff, I tell you. Yeah, tell us a little about that.
Ed Begley was a friend of Cesar Chavez.
Mhm.
And he was one of his pallbearers at his funeral, and after he died, he was traveling somewhere at the airport, and there was a young man at the counter eating next to him, and he asked him if something about Cesar Chavez, and the young man, who's Hispanic, thought he meant the fighter,
right,
and had no idea who Cesar Chavez was. And Ed Begley thought, this is a travesty that for what he's fought so hard that this man doesn't know who he is. So he started writing a musical, and he started hearing different songs on the radio, and this would be a good song to put there, and this would be a good song to put there, and so he wrote this musical about Cesar Chavez and Ruben Salazar. Ruben Salazar was a reporter for the LA Times who had been very open about the police brutality at the time, and was not liked very much by the police department. And during these marches in East LA, he was at a bar having a drink, and there was an accident where they threw in some type of a bomb, and it took his head off.
Mm.
And nobody was indicted. It was an accident.
Yeah.
And so so Ed wrote a story about Cesar meeting Ruben up in heaven, and there was something they had to learn in order to continue. and so it's their story, and it was quite an experience. I did 3 productions of it, and I did it in Austin, and I received the IVB Payne Award for Best Actor there by the Circle of Critics, and so that was a great honor. And I got to meet his family. We had a lot of farm workers come to see the show, and then I was asked by his wife saw me in the show, and she thought, "What a dead ring! He looks just like him." And then I was recommended to do a documentary about him, which was one of 8 films being considered as a best picture for best documentary at the Academy Awards. So and now that film is shown in schools across the United States to help teach tolerance. But it's been quite an experience. I found it means a lot when you're helping people learn about your culture or bridge bridges. And I had a young little boy came up to me during the run of the show, and he was very shy, and he started to cry, and I said, "What's wrong?" He goes, you remind me of my dad, and he used to work in the farm, but then he got sick and he died. And that's those things you just, that's what it's all about. You get to connect with people, and it's what makes you go home at night and say yes. It's not always, you don't always get those paychecks, but that's what it's worth it. Oh wow, look at that.
What you have?
Pandemic hair.
I was going to say Mozart run up on your head or something. Now you know why I have the hat on. My hair is
smart.
Very long, and very full. I haven't been to the salon since March.
I went today for tonight. This is the first haircut I've had in 4 months.
I mean, it's really long.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah. And I tried. Have you tried cutting it yourself?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Oh, okay. Careful. I did it, and I was. I did Mozart one time, and I looked like he had mange. I went to, he wouldn't stop moving. I was, oops, sorry.
Practice on the dog first, right?
I know.
So we've got some cool photos here as well, and of course, In the Heights being a part.
Yeah, that's the movie, and I was so honored that Lynn asked a bunch of us to come part of the finale in the movie. Because a lot of if you see it there around both corners, there's a lot of cast members from the Broadway and from the First National, and over to the left there's a little group. I had to point out everybody.
I see me,
and yeah, me. Yeah. I think I sent you a closer shot of that. That was an amazing day. Actually, that day I wore a hat similar to yours, Jim.
Oh, you did?
But it's ruined because all that water, it got ruined.
Oh yeah, because
we got sprayed. There I am. But it was nice to be a part of that family. It was very, that's been a great experience, that In the Heights family.
Oh, absolutely.
It's nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Yeah, lots of love, lots of love. Mm-hmm. There's another shot.
Oh, I look good there.
Yeah, I know what that.
Wow, that was before the pandemic hit. Did I send you that?
Yes.
I don't know who that is. Oh,
that's a mystery. That's your next character you're taking on after Plaza Suite.
Exactly.
That's a nice.
This is from the musical Selena. You know the singer.
Mm-hmm.
They made a musical of her life that was supposed to come to New York, and it never did. But I played the father in that.
I am looking at her face, and you could blink twice. Maybe it's the expression or the angle, but my God, she looks like Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah, a little bit.
That shot, doesn't she look like Mary Tyler Moore in that shot?
Martha Dubois, who's no longer with us.
That's another shot here. Tell us about that. Oh, there's with Ed.
There's Ed Begley, and there's Cesar Chavez for a press interview. He's such a lovely man.
Warm and humble, right?
Very, very much, very real. Yes, Mr.
Robert Goulet.
Yeah, I did. We did a tour of Man of La Mancha, and he had. I mean, he was up in years, but his voice was still there. that booming. I mean, that the whole room would shake because it was so full.
Yeah.
What a voice that man had.
Really? Yeah. I'm friends with his wife, Vera Goulet.
Yeah, Vera. Yeah.
Vera. Yeah. He's originally from Massachusetts. So that voice he had was very distinctive.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Of course, that's for
Plaza
Plaza
Suite.
Suite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really cool shot there. And here's another one. Tell us about that.
That's my Broadway debut. I'm right in the middle with a little pillbox hat on. That's the 11 Brothers for Joseph of the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which opened in '93 at the Minskoff, and with starring Michael Damian from The Young and the Restless and Kelly Rapke. And these were Broadway legends up there all around me. Those were amazing Broadway stars, and I was very lucky to be a part of that. And as I mentioned before, there were 26 people that made their Broadway debuts in this, of all different, every ethnicity. I mean, this was Vinnie Liff back then.
Monumental.
And, yeah. And we had a 25-year reunion last year at 54 Below, and most of the cast showed up. And so it was nice to see everybody, and we sang songs from the show. It was a night to remember.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, to get everybody together again. Here's another shot.
Oh, there's my favorite guy. Actually, when I did it, they didn't know I was going to do it, but I ended up putting some white powder on my, kind of Charlie Chaplin-ish.
Yeah.
So I put a little white powder on my face to kind of bring out the feature, bring out the expressions a little more. Oh, this was last year. This was a beautiful show by the name of American Mariachi by Jose Cruz, and I had to learn to play the guitar. I was supposed to learn to play the guitar, but I never really got to learn to play the guitar. But it's about a father and daughter's relationship. The mother has Alzheimer's, and he's trying to make a living in the restaurant and a mariachi player. And in order to try to bring her mother's memory back, there's a record she finds that he sang on that gets broken. So she wants to recreate it. So she calls all the girls. She goes after looking for all these women to start a mariachi group to recreate that song. And because women in those times don't play mariachi, this is the father, women don't play mariachi. And so it was the battle between how to get it done and how to keep it secret from me. And so that's all with music, traditional music. It was a beautiful show.
Fantastic. And here's another shot here.
That's from Cesar and Rubin. Ed Begley he come in and played different parts. Christopher Guest was in it. Nick Guest, Christopher's brother. Yeah. That's from In the Heights.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's also from Plaza Suite.
Plaza Suite as well. Yeah. And then there you go. You got there's right there in the middle.
Yeah. It was good to see all those people. Your first Broadway show is something special, and
what a show to be in, Joseph, and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. I mean,
it was
were you pinching yourself constantly saying, is this real or am I dreaming?
I kept waiting for them you're going back home. We made a mistake.
Yeah.
But when I first got the call, I just broke down crying. I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to New York.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, right. That's incredible, huh? When you think about that. And we got a lot of comments coming in here. Let's catch. There's so many coming in. We always get a ton of comments on this show, and I love it. And I love sharing it with everybody and having everybody feeling like they're part of it all. So let's see. You bring me to tears. It comes from the soul. Beautiful mother. Of course, we left with Ripper from Eileen, and then thanks, Danny and Jim. It makes a very special time. That was a hoot. What an actor, Ripper from Australia.
Yeah.
And that voice is just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Love the voice. And we got all kinds of microphones and double hearts here from Ontario, Canada. And June Richardson Osman, our dear friend. I am loving this so much. Danny's so wonderful. And we love you back, June.
Yeah.
You know that. Jimmy and Danny here. Danny, I have a big smile on my face. Your personality took all the pain away. See,
bless you.
About Margie. No more pain. Thank you, Danny. That's really wonderful.
What
Bravo from Kathleen. And wow, you're so multi-talented. Yes, he is. Danny, your clips are amazing. Love them. Thought of the comedian Red Skelton and one of them.
Wow, that's great compliment. Thank you very much.
Compliment that. And yeah, she did look like in that photo Mary Tyler Moore a bit, and just in that one shot there, beautiful, fantastic. So that's great. I mean, all kinds of comments coming in. When you have an opportunity to, hear back from people, another one here from KN. Although would love to go to Broadway. A dream to see one day still. A wheelchair push would help from Eileen. And there was another one that popped in here. Oh, more XOXO back from us, for us from June. And KN, wonderful performer. So when you get a chance to, get this kind of feedback from people, Danny, how does that make you feel? I mean, people are touched in many different ways through the variety of multifaceted performances that you present for all of us.
It's I'm doing my job, and it's affirmation to keep on doing the work that I'm doing. It means a lot to be able to communicate with people. Like I said, I was so shy as a kid, but
which people don't realize that you were very shy as a kid, right?
Yeah, it's opened me up, and I'm able to share my feelings, my memories, and people connect to it. It doesn't matter where you're from, but if it's true, if it's honest, people will connect to it, and they will see themselves in those stories.
Absolutely. Is there a character you haven't played yet that is always on your bucket list? Oh, gee, I wish I got a shot to play that character, whether it's somebody from television, film, Broadway, movies, anything.
Yeah. I auditioned for it. I was up for it. I didn't get it. It's there's so many. The father in Fun Home.
Oh yeah.
That's a great role. Also, I've always wanted to play Tevye, but I knew that was a stretch. But there's that's about it.
Yeah,
that's about it. Jesus in Superstar.
Jesus, yeah.
Superstar, because that's a role. I mean, it's a great
that would be big, right? Yeah. There's another one here I want to see if I can pull up, and maybe I can share it with everybody and just see if I can load it in here. There's another one that you shared with us that is really cool. Just want to share the screen, share the audio, get it up here. There she is. I'm going to share it. And now we're going to play it, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about that one. And here we go.
Poem for this song. So if I may read it to you. I am molded and folded and filled and wrapped. I am gathered and bundled and placed lovingly in a vat. When the husk is unwrapped, you surrender to calm, to the aroma of the masa you begin to take on. And then you eat me. Oh, nice. The letters are nice and big. Okay. For me, masa, measure the dough by hand. Pour in water, you move the dough with the hand. Not move, ¿cómo se dice amasar? Yeah. You knead the dough with the hand. Garlic, achiote, push the mortar down. Mate, rubbing,
You stir the pot all night. This is the way that she teaches me. This is the way I remember. Holds my hand while I stir the pot. This is the way I remember. This is the way that she teaches me. Fill up the meat in the masa. Press her thumbs into my arms. This is the way I remember. Tamales, help me remember. Tamales. Growing up as a kid, I remember having to look over the table to watch my mom hitting that masa, punching, getting all that frustration out. And it was an assembly line of all my aunts and even my dad. The first time ever helping in the kitchen, my dad always helped me. It was part of the family tradition. And it was also told to me that when you have guests, you should always offer. Oh, look, my turtle! Would you like one? It's for you. Yes. If I may have, you know what? I didn't think there'd be this many people. I have two there. Who else would like one? Share the bowl, baby. Share the bowl. Okay, hello. Oh, how that might make the blackbird soft, white string tight to close the nesting, Stephen waiting. She says to give them time, smell her body, salt and sweat perfume. This is the way that she teaches me. This is the way I remember. Wraps her arms like banana. This is the way I remember. This is the way that she teaches me. One more chocolate, pretty one sit down. Simple tamales, simple. This is the way I remember. And when Conchita was getting sick, her spirit flies back to Peru. She leaves me here. You find me here.
That was awesome. Tell us about the backstory on that. And I'm very hungry right now. You got
I don't have any here, but that was from the show called Miss You Like Hell, which was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever to be a part of. It was at the Public Theater, and it was a new musical written by Chiara Alegria Judes, who wrote In the Heights, and oh my God, I just forgot. We just blanked. McKeon. Oh, she's gonna kill me. McKeon. That's her last name. Erin McKeon. Thank you very much. And it's about a woman who is illegal in this country, and she has noticed that her daughter has been kind of going off the deep end, writing suicide notes on her stomach, threatening to jump off the bridge. And the daughter lives in Philadelphia, and the mother lives in LA. So she gets in her truck, travels all night to try to see if she can save the daughter. The daughter lives with the father, and they meet. She says, "Why don't you go with me on a road trip across country?" The daughter says, "No, I can't. My dad won't let me." She goes, "He doesn't have to know." So she sneaks out of the house, and they go on a road trip cross country, and they meet different types of Americans, and the through their communication, the daughter hears about different stories about what it's like to have a mother, because she never had the mother. And so she's blogging all the time. And the mother finally shares with the daughter that she's got to be in LA because she has her hearing for whether she can stay in the country or she has to leave. And the daughter didn't know the mother was illegal at the time. So they finally make it to LA, and there's a trial. And then the daughter, she asked the daughter to testify for her, which created a lot of animosity because the daughter hasn't seen the mother in years. And in the daughter's opinion, the mother just left her. And it turns out that the father threatened that if she didn't let the girl go, he would turn her into the ice. So the mother let her go. And the daughter finally testifies at the end of the show for her mom, which wasn't very successful. And so there's a place in California called Friendship Park where there's a wall, but it's a gate, a fence, I guess, with just openings that you could put your hands through. And people come there to meet their families on the other side and have birthday parties or picnics or lunch. Oh, I just lost the picture here. And
we still see you.
Oh, okay. And so, so at the very end, the daughter puts her hand through, and the mother's on the other. She's been deported, and they continue the relationship that way. And the entire cast, we brought on this huge wall that separated the public theater, so that half the audience was on the American side, and the other side was on Mexican side. And so you're kind of feeling what these two women are feeling going through this relationship. But it was amazing because it was right before before Trump started putting the kids in camps. Yeah. So it was in the news. It was newsworthy, and we had a group of kids that Kiara had sponsored who were migrant workers that were working in DC, and they were writers, and so she brought them to see the show, and we had a talk back with.
That's an interesting shot to freeze on. I wonder what character Danny could play looking like that. Somebody serious. Would you say maybe a judge? I think on his end, maybe his Wi-Fi was going out, possibly, unless he's. It's definitely an interesting shot to freeze on. We'll see if he maybe can come back up. Maybe he'll try. Sometimes, with the internet, I tell you, it's not necessarily like just going into a television studio or there he went. We'll see if he can come back in. But you got a good scope of who he is. The internet can be, I tell you, a crazy, crazy place. Technology at its finest. It's not like being in a television or radio studio or maybe on stage or on set somewhere. You're dealing with all these optics and fiber optics and everything else, but maybe the Wi-Fi sort of went out on his end, or unless he was using a phone, because he did say that his picture was going out. But isn't he amazing? Absolutely amazing. If he's able to get back in, he's in New York City. If he's able to get back in, then we'll have him pop on. But he was really amazing, and we shared a lot of material with you. And there was much more we could have shown, but I just wanted to give you an idea of the breadth and scope of his work. I've got a lot of talented friends, don't I? And we've been sharing a lot of them with you as well. And again, it's part of the essence of this broadcast of the Jim Masters Show Live. We've been having so many incredible guests, but even more than that, the show celebrates terrific people, but it also celebrates you, and it celebrates us collectively. That's what it's all about. We've got Independence Day coming up and the 4th of July weekend here in the United States. Do you guys have any plans? How are you going to be celebrating your 4th of July? We've got a couple minutes here before we get ready to wrap up the show. I do want, just in case Danny can't get back in, I do want to thank him for joining me here on the show. Broadway TV film star Danny Bolero. Really, really extraordinary, very multi-talented. He uses so many facets of his background, his culture, his training in all of his work on stage, on television, with his voice as well. And a lot of us that are in the creative arts, we have so many different quote unquote hats that we wear. And that's what keeps it invigorating. Like for me, like with Danny and some of these other great guests we've had, I wear many different hats as well. I host this show, host that show, do this, do that, write, produce. I've got so many different things that I have my hands in. Some people know me just from this one thing that I do, and others know me from the other thing that I do. Same thing with Danny. Maybe they know him from In the Heights or Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, or maybe they saw him on Blue Bloods on CBS, and they think you just do the one thing, but then you get an opportunity to see clips of one's body of work, and you get an idea of the multifaceted artists that one is. For me, you can go to YouTube at Jim Masters TV, where we archive all of these shows, and you can see some of the other work that I do. Some of the, not all of it, there's years worth of it, but there's some other professional work that I have uploaded on the Jim Masters TV YouTube channel. So you can check out some of that along with all the episodes of this series. And we've really been having a blast too, hosting and producing the Jim Masters Show live for all of you here nightly at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And so many great guests are coming up too. But even more than that, it's you and I in all these great segments. We're going to be doing some on-location segments as well coming up. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We've got some great comments coming in as well. What a great evening. Thank you, Jim and Danny. Well, we both thank you very, very much. Come back, Danny. Absolutely. Danny is welcome back anytime he wants. I say that with all the guests. I don't know if you were with us last night. We had the multi-talented and young Olivia Clark last night, and she performed live for us. She actually went to a special studio in South Jersey just to debut a brand new song that she wrote. And if you go back in the archives, you'll see that song, Olivia Clark, singer, songwriter, and actress. June says, have him back. Come back, Danny. Well, guess what, June? You have more power than you think. You know why? You say, come back, Danny. And look, voila.
Ta-da! Ta-da! Oh, my God.
Oh, you did that on purpose just to comb your hair. What a sneaky way to just disappear. Say, I don't like my hair. I'm going to take a live stream, comb it, and come back.
So, you got my secret. Oh, Lord.
I was just telling him, the internet is not like stage and television and radio, which, the internet is a funky place and it can really make or break you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That musical recording I did, we tried it singing live, and we couldn't because people's internet connections are also different. People's mics are different, and so you never know what's going to happen.
Right, exactly.
So, sorry about that.
They're glad to see you back. Welcome back. Danny's acting is great and enjoyed it. And of course, you know me, I was able to vamp in between, and ad lib and do what we have to do. No dead air. I'm a trained broadcaster. No dead air allowed. Dead air is, if there's dead air, and I know in the radio stations and TV stations, I'm sure too, if you're on the air as a host or whatever, and something happens where there's dead air, there's a certain window where the dead air happens. And then if you don't figure that problem out, it starts dialing phone numbers. First, it starts dialing the chief engineer's number. And then if he doesn't pick up, then it dials the program director's number. And if he doesn't pick up, then it dials the general manager's number. And if it's like 1 a.m. and the general manager of the station's being called when he's at home in bed sleeping, that's going to be a problem. So no dead air.
No keeping it a secret there.
Right, exactly. Eileen says, Ripper idea. Well, there was a picture when you disappeared. There, you had an expression that was a frozen expression, sort of like. So I was saying to the audience, what do you think that could be a new character? He looks like he would be a judge, right?
Yeah.
Judge Denny, a ripper idea. He's a ripper star. Thank you for such talent, Jim. Thank you. We appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah,
we have
very
all
nice
the best here on the show for everybody on the Jim Masters Show Live. Glad you made it back, Danny, Ernestine Webb. Jim, you and Danny made my day. Love you guys. I feel my health issues left me because Danny, you and Jim made it full of love, fun, and laughter. Flowing with love healed me. That is amazing. I really, really appreciate those comments as well. It's
So do I.
wonderful show. Happy to see it. Absolutely. And you're always, some of them say you always look like you're having fun, and absolutely you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and
on stage you do, yeah.
Yes, with
that
the
freedom.
with the internet,
Yeah.
we'll see. But Danny, when you look at all this work and you see the amount of work that you have really shared and accomplished for all the greater good of us, what brings you the greatest joy and blessing in doing this work, the lives you're touching through the creative arts in such a beautiful way, Danny?
I think the people I've met over the years, the people I've worked with, the friends I've made, excuse me, and the parts of life, sharing parts of a life that people have never seen before, and showing how we're all connected, especially in these times, because it's all comes from the heart, and when you get it right, it feels right. My mentor used to say, being is believing. That was her. And the other phrase was, angels can fly because they take themselves so lightly. So these were just, it's all about the human spirit. It's all about connecting with each other more and more. We need to be more respectful of each other and more caring of each other. We all need that. We all need a hug. We all need friends. We all need love. And when you're, depending on what character you play, when you're watching a stage show, you can empathize. You can understand through the feelings of the actors, through the feelings of the singers, through the art, through music, because it's I know how to close. I wanted my favorite poem by Federico Garcia Lorca, and I'm gonna mess it up, but the gist goes: the music, the poem, and the song are water from the well of people. I take a cup and give to you to drink so that you can understand the music, the poem, and the song. I mean, the poem, the song, and the music, and the picture. Sorry, I knew I was going to screw it up. Sorry, but that's the gist of it.
The light, the levity, and the love, or levity.
Levity, there you go.
Basically what it is, basically what it really is, the bottom line. And we do need to, I mean, we're living in times that I think, as I've been saying to people, it's been, horrific in many ways, the extremes of everything that we've been going through individually, collectively, as a society, and globally. But this could be a wonderful time as sort of a reset for us to pause, as we've had to, and bring back the essence of empathy and caring and kindness, listening to one another instead of just talking at one another, maybe coming to the table instead of having all this divisiveness. We're not always going to get everything we want, but let's at least come to the table, and maybe we'll work things out to get some of the things we want, to think of the other person, to lend a hand, to celebrate nature and the environment and the things that are around us, the little things that are around us that we take for granted. We always think we need more and bigger, and I got to top that, and I got to have that. No, you don't. You probably look around and you're saying, my God, I've got family and health and loved ones and friends, and I love what I do. And, I've got memories to cherish. Some people don't live long enough to have memories. And I'm here and you're here and they're watching around the world, the blessing of all of that. That is the simple things in life. And I think that this is a little bit of a reset where, and I've mentioned this a couple of times before, where the earth and nature and the divine came to say, look, you know, we've given you this beautiful bounty of life and this beautiful place called Earth, and you guys have been screwing it up. You guys are your road rage and all the stuff that's going on. We're gonna shake it up a little bit and see if you guys come out of this better, not go back to normal, but better for it. And it's a little bit of a reset, and it's a beautiful opportunity through all that we've been going through. That's tough. It's a beautiful opportunity maybe to seize that and rise from the ashes more loving and beautiful people. Wouldn't you say, Danny?
Definitely. This platform has become, and I have not felt in a long time, those old days when you used to sit on the porch and talk and tell stories, and talk about your day. That's what this has become, you know. Because, and I miss that. I really miss that. That and getting in touch with people.
That's what I love. You know, I'm that way anyway, you know, in terms of not just my work on television and radio as a communicator, but I'm that way even in person. So a lot of people have been telling me that with this show, they're feeling essences of like Dick Cavett, the way Dick Cavett used to do it, or Merv Griffin or Johnny Carson used to do it, with elements maybe of Ryan Seacrest, or just some of the old school ways mixed with the modern sensibilities as well. But some of that maybe longer form, more in depth, fun, levity, all the cool other things we do, food and all these great segments, but still with this essence of a little old school in there that people are missing, and the art of conversation. And like a lot of people have been writing, they've learned so much about you. Even the people that know you have learned so much about you through the conversation. We had actor Dwight Turner on a couple of weeks ago, and we had a great conversation just like this. And there were people that are friends of his for years that said, oh my God, Dwight, after watching that interview, I didn't know that about you. And I didn't know that about you. And he had, I don't know if you have any scripts lying around there. And the reason why I say that is towards the end of that interview, Dwight showed us on camera. I said, hey, Dwight, what are you working on next? And he said, well, I've got this really thick script here, Jim, that I've got to go through. And I just received it. And it's from the producers and casting. And they're considering me for a big role in a musical. So I got to look through it. So I said, best of luck, you know, the whole thing. 2 days later, I get a text from him. He said, Jim, I got the part. Fabulous. He says, but I have to tell you something. I said, well, what's that, Dwight? He said, the producers and the casting people watched my guest appearance on your show and our conversation. I know people call them an interview. I call it a conversation. Interview is question, answer, and out. I like the art of conversation. He said they watched, the casting people and the producers watched that episode of the conversation we had together. And he said that put them over the edge in terms of deciding to give me that role. I said, really? They watched the whole thing and the 2 hours that we did and everything? He said, yeah, because they got an essence of who I am, and they saw me in just different ways through the conversation and what he was able to emote from the conversation. And that was really amazing. So when I hear things like that, then I know I'm doing my job as a host, but I also know I'm doing my job as a human and being able to relate and connect and create with people like that. And that's cool stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, just up for you, on a quick note, the correspondences I first got from you, I mean, you're so genuine and you're so kind, and I really appreciate that. And I think a lot of what goes on, the energy that goes on in these conversations is because of you and the energy you bring. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It is my pleasure. And I absolutely enjoy doing it. And we got lots of XOXO from June. And
it's true, isn't it?
I guess June knows. She's watching there on the YouTube channel, and they invite everybody to go there too. Wonderful performer and remarkable, truly amazing. Time flies, fully engaged in your show. And that's what we love. The engagement is the important thing. Very talented. Time went by so fast. And oh boy. Congratulations. Wonderful show. Happy to see it. What a great evening. Thank you, Jim and Danny. You are very welcome in stereo. And amazing. And that's great. Amazing, huh? Lots of amazing. Enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff here. And let's see. Jim, you and Danny made my day. Love you guys. And she feels that the issues of health left. And great show. Danny, you were great. And of course, Jim, you are terrific too. Well, we both thank you in stereo. And Danny, thank you for being on Jim's show so we could find out more about your work. Your heart is so wonderful. Thank you. Awesome interview. Wonderful interview. Time well spent. Danny, thank you again for your sharing. And Margie says, thank you, Danny, for bringing my heart much joy. Yes, you too, Jim. You are right, Jim. And you both rock from June. We rock and you roll. So that's it's a great friendship, June. And thank you, Danny and Jim, for another great entertaining show. And Danny comes across as genuine as well. He sure is the real deal, not just in his work, but in person as well. So Danny, this was really amazing. This was really beautiful. And could you believe we talked for almost over 2 hours?
It flew by.
Felt like it was 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you, everyone. Oh, it's lovely.
It was my pleasure. It was an honor to have you here. And some people have said on the Jim Masters train. That's what some of them have called it. And you know who else enjoyed it as well? My sidekick, George Burns.
I love George. Oh, and you don't have Gracie?
No, I don't have Gracie. No.
Oh, they were great.
Gracie right now, I believe, is on assignment. Forest Lawn or something. But he says, great job, kid.
Thank you. That's quite an honor. Thank you.
Coming from George. Well, you've got your glass. So we do our guest toast. Again, old school, right? Our guest toast. How did my glass get empty? George
kind of did too.
I think George has been nipping at it because my glass is in front of George Burns, and I think he's been nipping at whatever I've got in here. But
I think Mozart's been nipping at mine.
Danny, thank you very much for sharing your time with us here on the show and sharing so much of yourself. And we got an opportunity to see some of you really doing your thing and really expressing your love for your craft with us here on the show. And it's beautiful, beautiful stuff. And it's very moving and very deep. And we toast to you for all you've done and continued years of success. And you're welcome back on the show anytime.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, Danny.
Oh, I did. Definitely. And all the wonderful people out there. Thank you.
I think we got a couple more last minute comments. Maybe we'll see them here. And you got the toasting coming to both of us from Renee and Merlin. Enjoyed every minute. Have a great night. Renee says, we are family here. My sister in Florida, she says, Mom and I, you've got thumbs up from sis and mom. My mother and sister enjoyed the show this evening. You're such a man, Danny. Danny, you have such a nice voice. So they love you as well.
Thank you.
Hope you get every role you want.
From your mouth to God's ears.
That's right. Talk to casting.
Yeah, really.
Thank you,
casting,
guys.
by the way? No.
Yeah, are you in casting, Christine? We'll both send you our reels. And cheers and good night, Jim and everyone. That's a good way to end. Danny Bolero, you're amazing. New friend made, and I look forward to breaking bread with you soon, maybe with June and all. We'll get together. We'll have a good time in the city. Until then, thanks for being with us. Blessing to have you here. Blessing to know you. And thanks for gracing us with your presence here on the show tonight.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And
We'll see you.
I'll bring my hat next time.
Bring the hat. And thank you, Mozart, too.
Yeah, Mozart, thank you. Goodbye.
Don't steal his thunder. That's it. All right, Danny, you take care.
You too. Take care.
It was
Bye-bye.
a pleasure. We'll see you again. Be well. Great guest, right? I'm glad he was able to, get the opportunity to come back with the technology being as crazy as it is sometimes. But he came back, and there was a nice little extended interview there. That's what you call a conversation, not just a quick couple of sentences. I could have done this show probably in a half hour, but what would you really get out of understanding the person? But also, it's the feeling. We have this time together where there's a certain vibe, there's a certain feeling to this show, which obviously is translating. And it's translating to all of you watching around the world. It's translating to the guests. I'm feeling it. There's a lot of, again, light, levity, and levity. That's what it's all about. Through the guests, through everything we're doing here behind the scenes to make this show as good as it is. And there's a heck of a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes to put this together. A lot of work all day long to put all these elements together. And I love doing it. And I love the reaction, knowing that you're enjoying it. And as long as you continue to spread the word, like the Facebook page, Jim Masters TV, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's a blessing. The algorithms at YouTube like when there's subscriptions, so that helps the visibility. I don't know if you know on YouTube, if you subscribe to the channel, it helps the visibility. It increases the rankings of the channel, so more people get to see all the episodes of the Jim Masters Show live and all the other content. So spread the word, and we've got another wonderful show in store for you as well. Next week, we've got a whole host of fantastic guests coming up as well. We've got 4th of July weekend coming up, and we will be back tomorrow. We've got a brief show tomorrow, and then we've got our holiday weekend that we're going to be celebrating, enjoying. So we're going to be here tomorrow, but not on Saturday. We're going to be taking Saturday and possibly Sunday off to be with the family for the holidays, and then back on Monday. So if you want to see us before the holiday kicks into gear, we'll be back tomorrow night with a special show for you tomorrow, live here, streaming worldwide on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. And of course, all of your friends here, George Burns says, good night, everybody. He says good night. Jeannie does too. Jimmy does. And of course, Silver does as well. Willie's in bed, just so if you haven't seen Willie posting. Willie in Holland, she's in bed, which is good because it's like 3:30 in the morning or something where she is. You are bringing back the lost art of conversation. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what a lot of people are saying. People that are sampling the show. A lot of people watch the re-airs, or, well, it's not like reruns, but they're all archived at YouTube. And a lot of people are binge watching the show. And that's really, really cool, because all the episodes automatically play. So if you missed anything, like Olivia Clark, who was our guest last night, she was brilliant, and all the others. Plus, again, we do shows sometimes where there's no guests, and we have a lot of fun together, and we do a lot of fun segments. And I'm building and creating a lot of fun segments for the show too. We're going to do a little on location for you tomorrow too, as we get ready to celebrate Independence Day. A very different Independence Day. It's going to be really different. People are going to be more homebound and more doing little mini barbecues and different things as well. But as always, I do say, and thank you very much. I appreciate that comment about the lost art of conversation. iPhone date tomorrow. Levity. Got to get some mugs and T-shirts that say Levity. Night as well. You too. Good night, Jim and everyone. And before we go, of course, we have our ritual here on the show, which means this. As always, I say I might be the star of the show, the host and the producer of the show, yes. But you guys are the stars as well. That's right. You and you and you, all of you guys in our circle of levity are the stars of the show. The host says you're the stars, and you guys really are. Everybody loves this too. When I pull this out, they're like, "Oh, what's the star for?" Well, the star is celebrating us together. And don't forget to relax. Relax, breathe from the diaphragm. It's really incredible. If you get a chance to meditate, perhaps, go out, work in the garden, go enjoy nature, go to the coast. We're doing that this weekend. We're going to be we live along the coast, so we are fortunate. We're going to be along the coast this weekend. celebrate your family, your friends, health, and the little simple things in life that really matter most. That's what it's all about. Celebrate a show like this. We are 9 weeks old. If it was months, we could have had a baby. We're going to be entering our 10th week. And we're still cranking. We're still going. We're still tweaking. We're still growing. And that's what counts. A lot of cool things coming up. So relax, breathe. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you've enjoyed all the episodes you've had an opportunity to enjoy. Share the links. Have watch parties. Check us out on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and also on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Masters TV. And again, if you want to see any more of the episodes, they're all there on YouTube for you as well. So all your friends here say have a beautiful night and good night all. Have a great day. And tomorrow, you too as well. And for the folks in Australia, New Zealand, everywhere else who are just starting their day, we say thank you very much for all of your love and support of the show as well. That's what it's all about. When you have an opportunity really to share levity, as we have called it, there's nothing better. So from this Jimmy, and we'll go back in time, that Jimmy, I look the same, don't I? Pretty much the same. Not much has changed. We send you love and light all the time. Great guests coming up. Remember, before we go, try to smile as often as you can. Even through the dark times, try to smile as often as you can. You smile and try to put a smile on the faces of somebody else. That's really, really important to do. We're going to be doing a lot of this holiday weekend as well. We're going to be doing a lot of cycling. Looking forward to that. And we're going to be near the ocean this holiday weekend as well, which I can't wait. I hope you have a wonderful time as well, whatever you guys are doing. And again, for all of us here at the Jim Masters Show live, and we are live, we say thank you very much. If we don't see you tomorrow night, then you have a beautiful weekend. We'll be back on Monday, but we will be here tomorrow night for a pre-holiday show, and we look forward to it. This is your host and friend, Jim Masters. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here exclusively and live on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and Facebook at Jim Masters TV on the Jim Masters Show Live. See you later. Be well, everybody. You take care. See you again soon on the Jim Masters Show Live. Good night.